Welcome back. Part 3, Episode 7, June 13th, 2021. This morning again, I woke up feeling pretty good. My thoughts were on more positive and likely of my family. I told God and my angels, thank you. As the morning turned into afternoon, I could feel myself doubting. I started second guessing. Beep. I prayed to God, Megan and Wyatt, and all my angels, and the angels affected. Please help beep to call me. Bless her to know we can do this together. Help her to know I will help her and she can help me. And I started to cry, of course. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do this. 1:41 p.m. I'm waiting patiently for beep's call. I'm praying. 2:26 p.m. my friend called. He wanted to know if I had heard from beep. I said no, but if I don't, I will use her advice she gave me. He said she will call you. I said I hope so. She said she would call either yesterday or today. He said, well, don't give up. I said, oh no, that's not going to happen. We talked for a little longer and he had to go. Man, my body feels like it's tensing up. I can feel my chest getting tight and it's like the weight is dropping back on me. I looked up at the clock and it's 3:33 p.m. and I thought to myself, thank you, dear God. I started to cry and I went to sit on the patio and the tears were rolling down my face. I looked up at the sky and I started praying to God, to my angels, and to all I know in heaven. I even named them by name. I sat there for a little while and went back in the house to clean up my face. After I did, I started cooking dinner. I let it cook slow so I could sit and get my thoughts together. I did. While dinner cooked, the phone rang. 4:33 p.m. Patty called. She told me about her night and how she had fun, and I'm happy she did. After we talked a little while, she asked, have you heard anything? I said no, but I almost broke down earlier, and I had to stop myself. Although I did cry, I was able to stop myself from going to those bad thoughts. I told her the story of seeing 333. Patty said, you can't give up. I said, oh no, that's not happening. If anything, I will use her advice. I will hire a professional photographer and go to the VFW halls. Patty said, great idea, Em. I said it was the things she was going to do, so I will just do them. Patty said, I will go into the VFW tomorrow or this week to see if my friend is in, where I could ask him for his advice. I said, yes, thank you. She said, he will tell me. He will. I said, all right, good. Patty said, when did you leave her the message? I said, yesterday at 2:38 p.m., but she didn't read it until 10 last night, and she's been on. Patty said, on the page or on Facebook? I said, I'm hoping it's on the page, but she could have been on Facebook. Patty said, Em, she would not have kept you on the phone that long if she thought she wasn't going to help. She would have blown you off. I said, gosh, I hope so. I can't take these kicks in the teeth or misleading me as to going to help but don't. I have had too many of those and I don't need any more. Patty said, we will do it then. I said, yeah, if I don't hear anything, I will use what she was going to do. Patty said, do you feel that she will call? What are you feeling? I said, well, I'm trying to stay positive, and I hope she calls. She said, it's hard, though. I said, it is, but I have to keep hoping that she will. I pray she does. Patty said, I know you do. But in the morning, if she doesn't call today, call her. You will know by the way she talks if she is willing to help. I said, right, I will. I will give it a little time, but I'm not going to wait on anything. Patty said, right. No, we can't. Too much time has gone by already. The stalling, the ignoring, the misleading. We can't wait anymore. I told Patty that is why we will wait to see if she is going to help. And if not, Patty said, all right, even if I have to start posting pictures again, to get something started. I said, right. We talked a little bit longer, and before we hung up, I asked Patty to say her prayers that beep calls. Patty said, yes, I will. We hung up. 6:55 p.m. I did not hear anything from beep, and something just has to work. It just has to. 9:07 p.m. Nope, I did not hear anything. And I am so darn disappointed, but I'm going to stay hopeful she will call tomorrow or the next day. I need the prayers. Why does this keep happening? June 14th, 2021. Well, yes, an emotional morning. I'm getting myself worked up again to realize I may have to do this on my own. And I will. 4:23 p.m. My brother John called. We talked a little bit, and then he asked me if I had heard from that lady. I said, no, I haven't yet. He said she will call. She's probably getting things together, getting a team of people together, putting her information together. I said, well, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing earlier. I've got to give it some time. I've got to be patient. And we did talk about not doing much of it until after the 26th. So maybe after then. John said, it will. It'll go off and then you will get it done for all of them. I said, yes, that's what I need to do, to help them all. John and I talked a little longer and he was going out the door. After dinner this evening, I thought I should look for some photographers. I found 4 locals, then I looked out of state, and I found 5 of them in beep. Then I found the best photographer in the world. As my evening is turning into night, I had to come to some kind of resolution as to, I have to wait for beep. I have to wait until after the following week, until the newspaper ad runs out, June 23rd, 2021. Then if I don't hear from beep by the 26th, I will begin to look for a professional photographer. I pray things work out for us, for beep, for all of them. June 15th, 2021. This morning I'm having mixed feelings, but I'm trying to stay positive. I just need to give it a little time. 3:31 p.m. I told Madison and my friend my plan of what to do to move forward if I don't hear from beep. The ad runs until the 23rd, and if I don't hear from her after the 26th, I will start something new. 6:42 p.m. Madison messaged me and said, look, she sent me some pictures, and they were pictures of Wyatt's headstone and Megan's flowers. I wrote, thank you, baby, so much. Madison wrote, you're welcome. 8:13 p.m. Madison sent me the video and then the picture. The video is of a bunny, and the picture is too. I took it as a sign that this will all work out. I prayed. June 16, 2021. Okay, I got up this morning and I have been doing pretty well. I say that like it's uncommon, but at times I worry about myself because of the overall way they handled the things at the cemetery. I mean, how could someone know of this and walk away and think nothing of it? Madison and I had errands to run, and as I backed out of the driveway, I saw the time on the clock turn over to 1:11 p.m. And in my mind, I know to be positive. I drove down the road, getting where we needed to go. Afterwards, we went and had lunch, and when we were done, I drove to the cemetery. 2:20 p.m., I pulled into the cemetery, and there were others here visiting, and it's good to see. I drove back to see Wyatt, and for some reason today I feel so peaceful being here. We sat with him for a little while, then I drove around to see if I could spot Beep's mother's headstone. I still haven't found it. This makes the 4th time looking. I drove up to Megan's, and there's no water laying on the ground. Thank God. I pulled up closer to Megan and sat and visited with her for a while, and then I took pictures. At that same time, Madison is telling me her and her friend came out yesterday evening and cleaned off the headstone and pulled the weeds around Megan's flowers. I looked at her and said, "Aw, you did?" Madison said, "Yeah." He gave baby brother a hand bump and asked where Megan's headstone was. I said, "What did you say?" Madison said, "I just told him it was at our house." He said, "Oh, there must be a story behind that." Madison said, "Yeah, but that's all I can say, is it's at our house." She said, "He just looked at me," and they dropped it. As I pulled out of the cemetery, I said, "Beeps, Mom, I don't know your name, but ma'am, please help your daughter to help me, and help me to help her. Megan and Wyatt, God, be in Beep's heart to call me." I got tears in my eyes, and I told my angels we loved them. I pulled out the cemetery and I drove home. I can feel something's going to happen. It's just the waiting is the hardest part. Today is also the 4th week for the newspaper ad in the beep, beep. Next Tuesday, the ad won't run anymore. And it's sad too because we didn't get one call from it. But if I didn't do the ad, I wouldn't know that. And I'm praying today that beep can feel me, feel that we can help each other. God be with us. And oh my gosh, I have really made a major step. I now know that there is someone else that has been complaining of the cemetery flooding. I'm complaining about that too, but the headstones in Babyland 6 West have been moved because of the flooding. So I know there are others that have complained. They told the others what they told me, what they told Beep, that no one else has complained. Really? June 17, 2021. I woke up today with an easy feeling, a feeling that I was once used to feel. I haven't felt some of these feelings I have been feeling over the past week for a very long time. Thank you. Beep. It's been 1 week since I have met Beep over the computer and phone. Thank you, God, for that. 9:14 a.m. Patty called. We talked for a little bit. She seemed emotional when she was telling me how she was feeling about her dad, and she couldn't worry about getting up there right now. I said, well, at times you have to look at it as if it's meant to be, it will be. Patty said, I know things will work out for you. It will take some time. It's already been long enough, but it will happen, and you will help so many others. I'm so proud of you, Em. I said, I know. It is just so darn hard at times. Today, yesterday, I have been feeling pretty good about what is about to happen. And I pray He keeps working with us. But if not, we will do it ourselves. Patty said, right. Yes, we will. We talked a little longer and we said our goodbyes. 4:28 p.m. I sat down to relax before making dinner. While thinking about a few things, Beep had said how the city told her no one else had complained. They told me the same thing. They tell everyone the same thing and then make that person think they're crazy. They did me, and believe me, I have not thought a second thought about proving what I know to be true. But they did make me feel like I was crazy and tried to make me believe something wasn't what it was. That's what's crazy. I have said from the beginning, if I have to be portrayed as crazy to tell my story, well, I guess I will be crazy. God be with us. My heart is still hoping and praying after the 26th, everything will go well for everyone involved. Dear God, be in the hearts of all of us. 8:32 p.m. my phone rang. It was so weird because I had just sat down and I was thinking, I need to call my sister Susie, and I haven't talked to her in weeks, maybe a month. But it was her. She was calling me. I said, hello? She said, what are you doing? I said, I had just sat down to call you, and the phone rang, and it was you calling me. So weird. We talked for almost 2 hours. We always have good conversations when we talk. I love you, Susie. She told me about Rylan leaving for Florida, and I told her he will have so much fun, and I can't wait for you and him to come here. She said, we will, and if you need me to come down there to be there when you go to the news, I can. I said, you can? She said, yes, I will come down. I can be there and come next summer for Madison's graduation party also. I said, you will? She said, yes, we will do that. I will help you in that way. Be there if you need me. And if you need any financial help, I can help you there too. I said, you can? Are you sure? Susie said, yes. I said, wow, this phone call is weird. She said, why? I said, because when I sat down to call you, you called me. But the reason why I was calling you was to see if I needed any help. Would you be able to help me at any time? And you're offering to help me. So weird. How did you know? Susie said, great minds think alike, I guess. But you need to call and talk about it more. Cry if you have to. Just as you tell others and others do to you, you need to do that with others. I said, I know. I just sit and cry though. Susie, this has been so hard on me, and at times I can't handle it, but then I get a sign, and I know I have to keep moving forward. She said, yes, and you are almost there. You and that woman are going to get it. I said, oh, I know, but I need to know where Megan is for sure. I need to get Wyatt out of there. I need to be done with this at some time so I can move on in life and be able to live without crying every day. I had a bad day last Wednesday, and I don't ever want to feel that way again in my life. Susie said, you are getting there. God knew you were the one to get this done. He knew you had the pictures, and you and that woman are going to get it now. You're going to do it, sis. I said, oh, I know. And thank you, Susie. We talked for a little longer and hung up. And thank you, Susie, and I love and appreciate all the words you say to me. Thank you so much. June 18th, 2021. The first thought I had this morning when I woke up was my rants. And in my rants I have had about a couple people throughout this ordeal for me, I apologize. I truly apologize. And please forgive me. I had a few emotional moments today, but I have to keep hoping that beep will help me and we can work together on fixing this for everyone. I pray she does not give up on this matter. I found her and she found me, and we need to find others. I pray she is on the level. I just can't deal with it anymore, especially if she doesn't help. But I will bounce back. Although I did think earlier, beep has helped me more in this past week than I have had throughout 6.5 years. And let me explain. She's a total stranger. She had a story to tell, and so did I. We both know what they have done and what needs to be done. Now, she's the only one over all this time after talking with her and knowing that I am not the only one that has complained. I have felt the most confidence over this past week because of her. And I have to confess, though, I am not strong enough to fight this fight by myself. And we all have seen over time, they want to help, they don't help. I need someone to help. And I pray it is. Beep. June 19th, 2021. A positive morning this morning. I have had those kinds of mornings for the past week. And I thank God. 10:38 a.m. Patty called. We only talked for a few minutes. It was a check-in call. I asked for prayers. She said it's a gloomy day. I'm cooking dinner early and relaxing later with Rick. I said it's hot here, really too hot to be outside. I'm just cleaning up, but that's about it. Patty said, you know this lady will help you. We can't pressure her. You just have to wait. I said, oh, I know. The waiting is hard, though. But I talked to my sister Susie the other night. She gave me a vote of confidence. It was a really good conversation. She said, all good. I said, yeah. We talked a few more minutes longer, and Patty had to go. Besides the conversation with Patty earlier, I haven't heard any more about any of it. Not today, anyway, yet. 3:28 p.m. I went outside to sit on the patio for a little bit. The heat was so hot. I only sat out for about 20 minutes. While I was out there, I thought of how they may judge me throughout all of this. Not that they should judge anyway. And the only thing I could respond back to myself in thought was, it doesn't matter who I am. I may have fallen short in life, but I knew something. I said something. They lied. I know who I am. 7:34 p.m. Lisa called. We talked for a while, and before she got beeped in on, she joked and even laughed to tell me, I have your copies in my car. I said, a little too late for that. June 20th, 2021. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, daddies, and single moms. Have an awesome day. After dinner, Madison and I went to my son's house and spent time with my son and his family. My granddaughter and grandson-in-law and great-grandbabies were there too. It's awesome to see them. We took some pictures. As we were visiting, I was in the bedroom with my son and daughter-in-law, and I briefly told them some of what Beep had shared with me. My daughter-in-law said, in law, the outcome is not as bad as the overall. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah, because once this goes public, they will want to talk to you. I said, oh, I'm sure. She said, yeah, and you've come this far. You may as well go all the way. I said, there's no way I'm giving up on this. No way. She just looked at me. We all talked a little longer, and when we were ready, Madison and I said our goodbyes to everyone. 6:49 p.m. we arrived at the cemetery. We sat and talked with Wyatt, and I drove around to see Megan. I took some pictures, and yes, her flowers are still there. Such a sad situation that this city has created. Why wouldn't they want this fixed? Throughout everything else, it is a good day. Thank you, dear God. June 21st, 2021. Wow, another emotional day. My emotions and stress level are so not right now. June 22nd, 2021. Early this afternoon, I decided to try to relax to keep my mind off of where I shouldn't be. I went outside and laid by the pool. I was laying there and I thought, I need to message beep at the newspaper. 1:44 p.m. I messaged beep, beep. I wrote, hello, beep. Thank you so much for your help with the ad. I appreciate it all. I will keep your information for future reference. Have a great day. 1:49 p.m. Beep wrote, hi Emily, it's good to hear from you. How have you been? Did you get a good connection with some people? I hope everything is going well for you. Best wishes. Beep, beep. I wrote, thank you. Beep, I am doing well. I didn't get the connection I was hoping for, but I will keep moving forward. Thank you, Emily. 4:35 p.m. I had pulled into the cemetery, and of course everything is all right for Wyatt, and it hasn't rained much lately, so it is not flooded. Megan's flowers are still there. You already know I took pictures. Madison and I sat with each one of them for a while. We told them we loved them, and we left the cemetery. Today when I read my prayer quote, the word is forgive. And God, I pray I can. And today, besides the emotional moments at times, I am feeling good about things. I feel we will have a good outcome. Thank you, God. June 23rd, 2021. Was I wanting to get up this morning? No. My next thought, though, was, get up. I said, thank you, dear God. Thank you, my angels. And I got up. 9:56 a.m. Patty messaged. She wrote, I have been praying that we get a call from the ad. Fingers crossed. Please, God, help us. 10:10 a.m. I wrote, thank you. 11:55 a.m. my brother John called. We talked for about 30 minutes. We got into the same kind of conversation that Patty and I were saying. He said, he doesn't do anything until it's time to do it. I said, oh, I know. I was telling Patty the same thing earlier, that I may need to hurry this up. I may cry. I may complain. But in the end, God will do it on his own time. John said, that's right. And sis, he's working on it for you. I said, I know he is. June 24th, 2021. I'm trying hard not to let this be an emotional kind of day. I have been trying hard since 6:32 a.m. I cry. I stop. My body aches. I cry some more. Man, could this be over already? In 2 more days, it will be Jen's next to oldest daughter's graduation party. When I had talked with B, I had asked her if there was a way to wait until after the 26th. She said yes, my plate is full right now and I will need some time to get things together to know what to say and who to call to get a team together. So she didn't seem to mind, although I haven't heard from her since. God bless us to get this done for you. June 25th, 2021. This morning when I woke up, I didn't think about anything but having a good Friday. 1:11 p.m. I have to stay positive that B will help me, help her, to help her mom, to help all of us. I have to think positive that after tomorrow, the 26th, Jen will also help again. God help us. 7:44 p.m. Madison, Zoe, and I left to go to the cemetery. We haven't been out since Tuesday, so I thought it was time to visit again. As I pulled in, I feel a sense of I thought people would be here, and no one's here. We were the only ones, and it's okay. I was able to sit and visit with Wyatt. Then I drove to the back of the cemetery and pulled around on the west side. Then I drove up to where Megan is. As I'm pulling up, I saw they had buried someone in Megan's area. I sat there for a little bit to figure out if the newly buried was a relation to the headstone nearby, or is it someone new? I sat there to figure out if they have the new grave where it would belong if they are related to the nearby headstone, and if that headstone doesn't belong there, then that person is buried in the wrong spot. But if it's a new person with no relation to that headstone, then yeah, may they rest in peace. God, I hope so. I talked with Megan for a few minutes and took some pictures. Told my angels we loved them and pulled out of the cemetery. I had a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. Tomorrow is the day. Please be ready to help me, us. God will guide us. I will help you, you help me, and we can together get this done. I hope you will call. Thank you. 10:34 p.m. as I sit thinking of the new grave in the Babyland 6 West. The grave is sitting next to another headstone that sat closer to the tree before the headstones were moved by floodwaters. In fact, the headstone that this new grave is sitting next to is not where it should be. Tuesday, when we were here, there was no hole dug on that day. So they had to have dug it Wednesday, Thursday, or today, Friday, at 7:49 p.m., which, yeah, they could have. But for them to bury a wife or child next to the beep's headstone and no, the person is not under the headstone, that is an all-time wow. June 26, 2021. It's been raining today. When I woke up this morning, I was doing pretty well. I dropped Zoe off to Nicole, and when I arrived home, I cleaned the house to kill the germs. When I was done, I got something to drink and sat down to rest. Tomorrow, Madison is off work, so we will go to the cemetery just to check things out. Man, I just keep thinking, I pray they didn't bury someone's loved one in the wrong spot. The graduation party for my great niece is today, so hopefully Jen will be able to help afterwards. And I'm praying too that beep will help. We will all help and be able to get this done. Thank you, dear God. Bless this to work for Megan, for Beep's mom and grandfather, and for the babies that are in Babyland 6 West. June 27, 2021. I have to let go and let God. I need strength, guidance, courage, and wisdom. I had a meltdown, and I hate the feelings it gives me. I sit on the edge of the bed and cry. I pray to Megan and Wyatt, then I talk to God. I feel better, and I told Madison, come on, let's get out of here. Let's go shopping for Olivia. Olivia will be turning 5 on Wednesday. When Madison was ready, we left. 2:22 p.m. When I saw the time on the clock, I whispered, I'm not giving up, babies. First, I went to beep to pick up some pictures we had developed. Then I had to go to another store to pick up the other pictures. 3:25 p.m., I drove to the cemetery. When I drove in right off, I saw water laying on the ground. I took pictures. After we visited with Wyatt, I drove around to the other side of the cemetery to visit with Megan. The pile of dirt where they had buried someone is getting smaller. The rain is washing the dirt away. I took pictures. Yes, it's flooded. I took some more pictures. After I left the cemetery, I drove the highway to a small town. Beep! I had never been there before. It's a nice town. We shopped at the stores there. Then we had a late lunch, early dinner at a restaurant in town. Excellent food. When we were done eating, I drove towards home. I guess I just needed to get away to breathe. June 28, 2021. When my eyes opened this morning, I was feeling a bit nauseated. I feel sick. I thanked God and I thanked my angels. I pray, beep, will call. If she doesn't, I will call her about 7 this evening. 9:11 a.m. Patty called. We didn't talk long, but she was checking in to see if I had heard anything. Of course, I told her not yet. I said I was going to wait until about 7 this evening, and if I don't hear from her, I will call her about then. Patty said, call her. Just call and see what or how she acts. You will be able to tell if she's going to help. I said I will, but I think I will wait to see if she calls me first. And I need prayers, lots of prayers. Patty said, of course, prayers always. We talked for a few more minutes and hung up. I'm trying to stay positive that beep is the one that will help. Please let it be her. No word today. I will hope for a better day tomorrow. It has rained all day today, and I just know from yesterday at the cemetery and the way it was already flooded, it will be worse now. I pray Megan's flowers stand up in the ground. They have so far, but there has been a lot of rain falling all day today, and they expect more rain the rest of the week. Be with us. June 30th, 2021. Yes, I woke up crying. I sleep good when I go to sleep, but when I wake up, I start to cry. I talk to my angels. I talk to God. I pray to them. I prayed, someone will help. My body will quit aching. I'm able to learn to live again. Mend my heart. Mend my heart to be able to live and be happy. I thanked them and got out of bed. I have to fight it hard at times not to let it get to me. But there is never the question of giving up. That's not going to happen. Before Madison left for work this morning, I asked her to go to the cemetery with me. She said she would. 10:14 a.m., Patty called. We talked for about 20 minutes, and she wanted me to know she could come here if I needed her to. I thanked her. She asked, "Have you heard anything?" I said, "No, not yet." But I briefly remember her saying she had so much on her plate, and when I asked her to wait until after the 26th, she had asked if she could have until after the 4th of July. Patty said, "Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that, too." I said, "Yeah, that's what Susie told me, too." So I told her it would be after the 4th. Patty said, "Yeah, that would make sense. But I can come there if I need to. I could leave from there and go to Michigan." I said, "Yes, that would be a good idea, and I appreciate it." I mentioned to her then a reminder. Remind yourself to go to the VFW. Take notes. She said, "Send me a message to remind me." I said, "All right, as soon as we hang up, I will." We talked a few more minutes, and I told her to have a good day, and we hung up. I sent her the reminder message. I cleaned up some, and I'm trying to be positive about helping us. After the 4th now. Man, there he did it again. Thank you, dear God, for answering my prayer. I asked to get a sign that will help, and then some of the conversation her and I had came back to me. I remembered while we were talking and I asked to wait until after the 26th. She then asked for after the 4th of July. This past week, I kind of put a lot on myself, waiting for her call or message to meet me to see the pictures, and she hadn't called. I prayed for a sign that would help, a sign so I could quit aching, a sign so my mind can relax and my body could rest. After I got the memory of her asking for it after the 4th, at 8:41 p.m., Susie called that night. And when we were talking, I told her that I haven't heard anything yet, and I hope I do. That's when she said, "When we first talked about her and you talking, you said she asked for after the 4th. And when I heard it from Susie, I knew the memory had to be true." Then when I talked to Patty this morning, she said, "I told her that too, that night." And I talked. So yeah, it's after the 4th. I had to second guess the conversation between and I. Because like I have mentioned, when we talked, my head was spinning. And all I could think about was, finally, I am talking to someone with a similar story of the cemetery flooding. So that is why this week I was doubting, second guessing, and praying she is going to help. I have to believe she will. 5:44 p.m., Madison and I left to go to the cemetery. I needed to go out there because of all the rain we've been having lately. When we arrived, I drove back to see Wyatt. I glanced over to see if Megan's area to see if her flowers were still in the ground. They were. I chuckled a bit and thought to myself, she's hanging on to those flowers, and I'm relieved to see that. We sat with Wyatt for a little while and I drove around to Megan. 6:01 p.m., I took pictures, and yes, it sickens me to think that they could have buried that person next to that headstone, and that headstone had been moved by floodwaters in 2015. And they have known about this situation since day one. They ignored it. Gosh. July 1st, 2021. Well, when I woke up this morning, I wasn't crying. I thanked God, I thanked my angels, and I got up. I was having an okay morning. I talked with Patty. She called at 10:09 a.m. We only talked briefly because she was out running errands, but she kept me upbeat. Didn't say anything about the cemetery, which I believe was a good thing at that time. But then at 10:45 a.m., Lisa called. When I first answered the phone, we were talking about her kids, her son and his house. She was telling me about what happened at her son's new house, and then we started talking about all the rain we've been getting. She said, "You've been getting a lot of rain lately. The cemetery is probably flooded, huh?" I said, "Yeah, we have. The cemetery is a mess. Megan's area is flooded, but Megan's flowers are still there." Lisa said, "Through all the rain and flood?" I said, "Yeah, I will send you a picture or two." Lisa said, "I just can't believe they wouldn't want it fixed." I said, "Me neither." Today's the 1st. 3 more days and that will be the 4th. So hopefully, beep, and I can take off and get others to tell their story and it all work out for all of us. Lisa and I talked a little longer and hung up. But one thing I did tell her was, out of 6.5 years, I could bet I have only cried every day but 2. Lisa felt bad. It was the sound and the tone of her voice. 3:33 p.m. It's raining so hard right now, and I know the cemetery is worse. I dread seeing it. I know, though, I can only expect it. It's raining so hard at my house, I am blocking water from coming in the sliding glass window. The water level on the patio is about an inch, inch and a half deep, maybe more. The street in front of me is raging downward. The water level on the road is up over the curbside. I pray the cemetery will survive the flood water. I pray Megan's flowers stay where they belong. 6:33 p.m. Madison and I went to the cemetery just to make sure. There is a lot of water laying all over Megan's area and in spots in different locations of the cemetery. I took pictures, and guess what? Her flowers are still standing. I couldn't believe it because of all the water, but I'm thankful they are still there. I love you, my angels. July 2nd, 2021. Well, this morning, getting up, yeah, I have to say, I felt sick. I felt like I needed to cry. I felt like, is this ever going to be over? After I got out of bed, my sugar level was really high, so I had to get it under control. Too much stress at times. Madison and I went to some stores today, and I'm trying to get a jump start on the 4 birthdays coming up in the middle of the month. By the time we got back home, I was beat. My phone dinged like I had a message. 5:11 p.m. It's my niece Melissa. She wrote, "Checking in on you." 5:56 p.m. I wrote back, "Aw, thank you. You and Jason doing all right? And the kitty kids, are they all right too? I finally found a lady that has had the same problem at the cemetery, and we talked for hours one night, and she said she would help me. I had to ask her to wait till after the 26th of June, and she needed to wait until after the 4th of July, this weekend. So hopefully, and I need lots of prayers that, beep, that's her name, and I can get it started this coming up next week." We had similar stories, but in my case, the headstones had been moved. But how lucky I got. She suggested overlaying my pictures to help prove my story. And I'm looking forward to getting it started and getting it done. That cemetery is a mess. Thank you, baby, and I love you lots, and Jason. Melissa wrote, "So sorry to hear you are still going through this. It's completely ridiculous. Not that I'm happy she's going through the same thing, but I'm happy that you found someone to connect with. It's clear people, the cemetery folks, have been doing this for some time and have always gotten away with it. It's really sad. I know how you are with your kids and your grandbabies and what they mean to you, even if they were only here a short time. I'm sure their spirits are thankful you are looking out for them. As for me and Love, we are okay. Kitty babies are doing great. Love my babies. I sent her 3 pictures. I wrote yes. I'm still going through it. I have asked myself, how do I walk away knowing this? I can't. I guess what the city told that woman was they told me. Like, at the time of each of our complaints, she was the only one complaining. And then I came along, and most likely so many between her and I, but they told me I was the only one complaining. Her mother had been complaining for 11 years, and I have been trying everything for 6.5 years. So what the hell is wrong with these people? And they just so happened to need to work on the fixing the drain when they decided to dig Megan's casket up. I have so much proof, and that woman has her proof. And you know if there's one, now two, there's more. We don't know who they are yet, but as soon as things get started and we go public, I will let you know more what's going on. Thank you again, baby. Prayers, lots of thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Melissa. And I love you, baby, and thank you for checking in on us. I say a prayer that we are all well and protected from evil. Thank you. July 3rd, 2021. For me today, I have been feeling at ease. I didn't really do much today, so I thought I would catch up with a few people I haven't talked to in a while. 1:57 p.m. I called Jen. I called to see if they had a good time at the party last Saturday. She said they did. I was glad to hear, and she told me a little bit about their day and at the party, and she was happy that her Uncle Jim, my brother, showed up. I was happy too. As we talked, I brought up about the cemetery, about hopefully, beep, and you and me, and if you're still able to come down, we can get this done and move on. We talked a little longer about other things have been going on with each other, and then we hung up. Madison and I are going to the fireworks show tonight, and I will be able to sit and enjoy the show, get recharged, free my mind. Then tomorrow we are just going to cook out and eat and watch fireworks from where we're at, if we can see any, but we will see them tonight. Everyone stay safe and well. God bless the great states of the United States. Happy Independence Day. This evening, Madison and I spent the 4th of July together and watched fireworks. We had a great time. July 4th, 2021. Everyone stay safe and happy Independence Day. Enjoy the fireworks shows. This evening, 7:44 p.m., Madison and I went to the cemetery. We arrived at 8:07 p.m. I pulled to the back to see Wyatt, but as I drove by the east-west street where Megan is at the other end, I looked and her flowers were still there. I feel relieved when I saw that. After we visited with Wyatt, Madison did take a picture of the headstone. Then I pulled around and went to visit Megan. I took lots of pictures. The water is going down, which is always good to see, but we shouldn't be seeing the water laying on the grounds like that in the first place. Not as much water, but there's still water there. I talked with Megan and I told her as I got ready to pull away the same thing I tell Wyatt. I love you, mommy angels. Send beep to help us. Go to her mommy and ask her mommy to send her to help, just as she did back in June. I told her to give Wyatt a hug and a kiss and tell him we love him, as I told Wyatt to do to her. After I talked with Megan, I drove away. I got back home and sat to relax before the fireworks started. Thank you, dear God, for this day. July 5th, 2021. Okay, this will be a great help for me, not distress. Olivia, my great-granddaughter, will stay with me for the week. She called me this morning and said, Nana, come pick me up. I'm at Pawpaw's. I said, all right. It won't take me forever, but I will be over there to get you. She said, okay, and then hung up the phone. After we cleaned up, we went to pick up Olivia and my great-grandson, Jose Jr. We got some pizza and went back to my house so they could swim. I invited my daughter, my granddaughter Zoe, and granddaughter Lily over to have a little party for Olivia's 5th birthday. While they were all outside, they had no idea that I was decorating and putting Olivia's gifts on the table to have a little party. When Olivia came in, she was so surprised. They were all surprised. We have so much fun. When we were done and the party was over, my grandson wanted to go back to Pawpaw's house. So we went back over there and Olivia stayed with us. Thank you for this day. July 6, 2021. 11:06 a.m. Jen called. We talked for a little while. It feels good to get back on track with her. We talked about some personal things going on with her, and then we talked about helping us. Jen said, yeah, I think she will. I don't think she would have told you that if she didn't want to or wasn't going to. The holiday just got over. We have to be patient. I said, oh, I know. She said because she may still be busy with pictures of graduations, weddings, senior pictures, and other stuff. So we just have to wait. I said, yeah, I really do know all that. But with this, I just can't hit any more brick walls. My head is spinning in circles since I had talked with and to know someone else out there, after them making me feel like I was the only one, I had asked and wondered, why is no one else seeing this? But others were seeing this. Jen said, I know, but one good thing about this is if doesn't help, we will hire our own photographer and overlay the pictures ourselves and do it ourselves. I said, really? I know we will. Jen said, yeah, let's wait a little while, take a couple of months and wait to see if is going to help, and if not, we will. I wrote, all right, although in my mind I'm thinking, gosh, months. I don't know if I can wait months and not be doing anything. My stomach is turning. I said, Madison said the same thing. If doesn't help, we can do it ourselves. Jen and I talked for a little while longer and hung up. This afternoon, Olivia and I was outside swimming. There's a butterfly that kept flying around me and trying to land on me. I wasn't fighting it. I wanted it to land on me. Olivia seems a little afraid of it, so I didn't make it seem like I wanted it around us. But I did tell her, butterflies are pretty and nice. They're not going to hurt you. I took some pictures of it. I sat and watched it for a while. I love watching and enjoying watching butterflies. After it flew away, Olivia and I went into the house. It was a good afternoon and a good day. This evening, Zoe and Madison got a movie, and all three girls watched movies until Olivia fell asleep, and then they went to sleep. It was a good day, and I do know that Olivia here with me at times helps me so much. I love you, my babies. July 7th, 2021. This morning was a little tough. I could feel it, and I wasn't feeling like I wanted to feel it. Madison had been wanting to drive down to beep. We were trying to have her graduation party there next June, and she needed to check it out first. It is a long drive, it seemed like, but I think it was because we had no idea where we were going. Of course, following directions, once we got there, we drove into the home of beep. When we got there, we ate. After we were done, we drove around to see where the big houses, lodges we were to rent was. It was nice. A lot of steep roads, big houses. We freaked out when we saw one of the big houses lodge for sale and what they were asking for it. My gosh, millions. The main street had all the stores and restaurants. I did see two things I would definitely try when I come back down next June, and that was beep wine and the homemade fudge and taffy store. Both of these things are a given. We did take pictures, and yes, I believe we will try to have Madison's graduation party here next year. I drove 3.5 hours back, and as it was getting late when we got back to the house, we took our showers and went to bed. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or questions, you can email me at lowercase letters Emily McMahon, EMILY, McMahon, MCMAHAN, 208 at gmail.com. Thank you for listening and stay kind with your words.